Hi, this is Alex from Shop Before podcast. I'm here for my second episode on the wounded bird, which is my version of people claiming that they are victims, all to get the naive and those who are too forgiving to look out for them and help them as a backup from all the dramas that they put themselves in. Now, there are so many people who are deservingly of help, but these aren't about those people. This is about the people who uh, prey on the kindness of others to look after them and get them to be looked after more than anyone else and be the priority because they are supposedly dealing with the harder world or harsher dramas that they themselves have probably put themselves into. Now, there's a good reason why a lot of these people isolate themselves, or maybe people isolate from them, is because they themselves don't have good characteristics. They are selfish. They complain about everyone and anyone. Anyone who's not next to them is usually bagged, and they always put themselves in the center of being treated badly, even though a lot of what they say is things that they themselves have done to everyone else, and wonder why people would even treat them in any way that they themselves don't see they treat other people like. Now, some people who have their own issues, who feel better when they are helping other people, will sometimes jump at the whim of helping the victims or the wounded birds, so that way they can distract themselves from things that they might have going on in their life. And you do feel better when you do help people, so it's a good way of um, distracting yourself for a second. But doing this all the time does mean that you might find yourself avoiding your own issues, because everyone has dramas and everyone needs time to work out dramas with their family, their friends, themselves, or even just to work themselves out. And if you're always going to be in the pits of somebody else's dramas, you'll find yourself having little to no time for yourself. You always need a bit of quiet time to work out which direction you want to go. And if you keep on hearing the wounded birds croak of being treated badly, you're always hearing their woes and not your own. So I think it is good to help people that are deservingly. It is good sometimes to help people and to find the right path, but the better thing to do would be teaching those people how to help themselves. What happens to people that you keep on helping and keep on helping is that they get conditioned to rely on you. And when you're not there to be relied on, they will bitch and complain about how unreliable you are, because they have no honor, they have no dignity. Everything is about their version of the truth, and they will always take as if you're willing to give. So if you cannot teach them how to pick up and clean up after themselves, or fix their own messes, you'll be there over and over again, and you'll take the time away from your own life and your own dealings. So it is good to help yourself. It is good to sometimes distract yourself, but the more you help them, the less you'll find that you're losing yourself, because we all need to focus on our own homes sometimes and clean our rooms and fix our dramas. Otherwise, we're just going to be leaving it for another day, and we'll be distracted by someone else's woes. So, and it's a good thing if those who crave your help, to understand why don't they have anyone there to help them? Why have they isolated themselves? Why don't they have friends or family there? And if they do have people there, why aren't those people helping them? It could be that people's threshold of what they can deal with can vary, and only so much bullshit you can take from someone that you've decided, no, I cannot help this person anymore because they will take advantage of me. And the more you help them, the more they take. So if you feel that you're helping them by jumping every time they need your help, you're really doing them the teachings that you will be there and they don't really need to improve. So maybe when you are helping them and you're not helping others, you'll start to realize why they have isolated themselves and why people would rather not interact with the wounded birds who claim they are victims of the world. Now, there's good reasons why people will not spend time with the wounded birds, because the more time you spend with negative people, the more you start to feel negative yourself. So surround yourself with positive, happy people, realists, not the ones that want to look at people as constant problems and pick on it, because those people will say anything and do anything to get you on their side, and they will say lies to make you believe that they themselves are the only honourable people. And a lot can be said about groups that if one person says one thing, it's good to find out what the other person's view is. But if a whole group is showing you that they are equally disappointed in someone, it could mean that that person has done them all wrong. And most people in the world are good and will stick by people and do the right thing by them. And there's only a few people who would not help someone who is deserving, because we all have a conscience, and it's part of our conscience to, or part of being human, to help people when they're suffering. But if someone says they're suffering every single day and you've helped them every single day, the pattern is that they will always want your help. And some of the times when they do want your help, it's something they could have helped themselves, but have chosen to rely on you because you are reliable. The funny thing about those people is they're far from reliable. If you ever were to ask them a similar favor, they would make an excuse, make it for another time, tell you they're busy. They will do everything in their power to avoid helping you. Those people are so used to getting their way with everything. Usually they isolate and be alone because they can't deal with a lot of different personalities, and much of it is for show. They're more actors than anything else. They pretend to be happy. They pretend to be confident. And the moment you're questioning them, the moment they're challenged, you see the true side of them. When they feel they're not being observed, you will see their real side. And because they're so miserable, they want other people to be miserable. So helping the wounded bird will only make you miserable, because you then have to justify the things that you've gone and did for them, the things that you don't particularly agree with, because you felt like if you didn't go the extra mile, that you didn't help the person in need. But the truth of the matter is, doesn't help, no matter how far you go, they will always crave for more. And then you will start questioning your limits and start wondering why you don't have time for your own problems, and wondering why this person who craves your attention will never do anything for you. And you'll put yourself in a position where you can't justify your actions anymore. They will put you against people, or put you off from people that you normally interact with, just so they can have you to themselves. So my advice would be, help those only when in need, when it is, and teach people how to help themselves, and maybe listen to both perspectives, not just one person's viewpoint. And you won't be creating more wounded birds in the world, because we don't need any more claiming victim. That's all I've got to say for episode 2 on the wounded bird. I'm hoping you come back for episode 3 when I do manage to have time to put that through. But thanks again for listening, and hear from you, or you will hear from me soon enough. Thank you.